Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Naomi and I'm from Sudarso Senior High School, Karawang, West Java. This house would disallow the practice of intentionally naturalizing foreign athletes to serve on national sports team. Well, ladies and gentlemen, national sports team made by government not just to increase the skill, not just to developing the skill of the athlete, of the Indonesian athlete, but also increasing the nationalism of their athlete. So they are not playing or they are not competing on worldwide championship because of their skill, but also they have the nationality inside of their heart, so they could just serve at the worldwide championship for Indonesian name, not also their individual name or just maybe showing off their skill. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we jump right into my argument, let me tell you our definition about practice of instantaneously naturalizing. Well, practice of instantaneously naturalizing in Indonesia, as we put our limit in Indonesia, is a procedure for people's naturalizing that is the candidate to change their nationality, or the other definition we are trying to say in here is a procedure to ease one of the people's wish to change their nationality. So when we want to change our nationality, we have to wait for about 5 years, stay in Indonesia, and then we are naturally become Indonesian. But in this case, instantaneously naturalizing, we don't have to wait for 5 years to get our new nationality, but we only wait for 3 years or 2 years to get our new nationality. Well, what we are trying to say in here is we are saying we disallow the practice of instantaneously naturalizing foreign athletes. So what are we trying to say in here is if you want to change, if you are an athlete and if you want to change your nationality into Indonesian so you can serve on national sports team, you don't have to do, or we are not allowing you to do the practice of instantaneously naturalizing, because so all you have to do is just follow the procedure, the normal procedure like all the other foreigners. So all the foreign athletes, if they want to change their nationality to Indonesian, all they have to do is just follow the same procedure as what the other foreigners do. Like they should have to wait for 5 years, or maybe they have to attend school of nationalism to increase their nationality. So they are actually when they get a nationality and they are in a national team, in a national sports team, they got their nationality to actually fight for Indonesia at the worldwide championship. So the only thing, or the only mission for them to join sport team is not actually because of their skill, but they want to serve to themselves, to the country. So just like Indonesian army, they serving themselves, they give all they do at the worldwide championship only for Indonesia, not for their name or their skill or whatever it is. They only have one mission to join the national sports team, and that is to bring Indonesia. To bring Indonesian sports to the next level, so Indonesia also has the good name in sports quality. So first, why we disallow the practice of instantaneously naturalizing foreign athletes to serve on national sports team? The first is we have a lot of potential athletes. And why don't we just train them? I believe that all the athletes in Indonesia are having a very good potential, but something that limit them is actually their training, or someone who trained them. if a country wants to actually have a good sports team, but they are lack of the human resources to train the athletes, why instead of letting one of the foreigner that got the Indonesian nationality by the practice of instantaneously naturalizing, why don't they just practicing with other countries, like for an example, Indonesia and Malaysia train together in one field, so they could increase their own skill because of the training that they got, ladies and gentlemen. If Indonesia really wants to have a good team, why don't they just do it? Because all we know in here, ladies and gentlemen, what we hear at the society is a lot of people saying that Indonesia doesn't really have a good potential in anything because they are lacking of the human resources. So it's better for us to just inviting someone outside. What I mean in here is foreigner to come to Indonesia and become the athlete. Instead of doing that, why don't they just training with other countries so they could just increasing themselves, increasing their skill? Why don't they just do it instead of inviting an outsider become an insider? Then the outsider that become an insider doesn't really know everything about Indonesia, and they do it just like, okay, I will do it, but not for Indonesia, but for my name, but for my own pride. Why don't they just training with other countries? Or maybe they could just do the coach exchange. Number 2 is the effect of the effect of the practice of instantaneously naturalizing the effect of the practice of instantaneously naturalizing foreigner is the instant nationality that they got doesn't really show their nationality to Indonesia. And that's what I'm trying to say over and over again. If they don't have a soul, if they don't really have the spirit to serve Indonesia at the Worldwide Championship, so why do they fight for Indonesia? Why don't they just fight for themselves? Because natural sports team, Indonesian national sports team is actually made up to increase the nationalism for the athletes. If they want to fight for themselves, why don't they fight? Why don't they just go to the Worldwide Championship and bring their own name instead of bring Indonesia? So what I'm trying to say here is we disallow the practice of instantaneously naturalizing. And that's all from me. Thank you.